Well, Attorney General Josh Stein is with us taking questions about the cyber hack at Colonial Pipeline and about price gouging as well. We just heard about how Colonial Pipeline was restarting things as of 5 o'clock this afternoon, so it's in process, how things should be back to normal in a few days. This text question is, what do you think about the restart that was just announced and how things will change over the next few days?
It's great news that Colonial Pipeline is able to resume flow of gas through its pipeline. It's important to remember why we're in this situation. It was these cyber criminals who held not only Colonial Pipeline for ransom, they essentially held all of us for ransom because they're disrupting our lives. The other thing that has driven the shortage is frankly people engaged in panic buying. And what we ask folks to do is don't succumb to the panic. Just remember what it was like a year ago with toilet paper. People were out there buying a year's worth of supply of toilet paper, and then the next thing you knew, you couldn't find any on the shelves anywhere. So if you don't need to fill up your gas tank right now, don't do it. If you don't need to drive, don't do it. Leave the gas at the gas stations for those for whom they need it in order to get to work or some other important reason. Don't hoard, don't go unnecessarily.
It does have a ripple effect. Absolutely.
No.
All right, so this question is, how do consumers get their money back from price gouging?
If they are a victim of price gouging and we bring a case and we win in court, we can get refunds for consumers. And we've done that. Since I've been Attorney General, I've brought 9 lawsuits against 25 defendants, and we've resolved them against about 18 of those 25 so far, won settlements and awards totaling about $975,000. The largest was a single case, $274,000. And as much of that money that we can to go back to the harmed consumers, we try to make that happen.
Okay. So this person is asking about Craigslist. They said, I've seen Craigslist posts offering gasoline in what appears to be plastic bags for around $18 a gallon. Since it's not a business, does the price gouging law still apply?
First things first, do not put gasoline in a plastic bag. That is just a terrible, terrible idea. The law that we have against price gouging in North Carolina applies to a seller. And a seller doesn't need to have a commercial business license to be a seller. Any person who puts something for sale is subject to our law, even an individual on Craigslist.
All right, this person is asking, how long does it take for gas prices to return back to normal?
We don't know for sure. It's just great news that Colonial Pipeline is able to restart things now. We know it'll be a few days to work through the kinks, but the gas stations should have all that they need in just a few days. That's why if you don't need it now, just please wait. Let others who desperately do need gas go in line ahead of you. Let's not be subject to panic buying. In terms of when prices will bounce back down, we don't know, in part because this is the time of year when gas prices traditionally do go up a little bit because of summer driving schedules.
Mm-hmm. This person says, how much does a service station have to charge a gallon to be price gouging? I paid $3.99 a gallon for premium in Greensboro this morning.
There is no set price. Part of it will depend on what did they normally charge for gas just a few days ago, and was there any reason why their price increased between a few days ago and today? And that's why we have to do the investigations. But for us to do it, we need to hear from you. So if you are concerned about a price that you saw at the pump at some gas station, please file a complaint with my office. And Tanya, just as an interest to your viewers, the city with the most complaints, price gouging complaints that we've received so far of the 400 is Greensboro. About 10% of all the complaints so far have come in from Greensboro.
Interesting. Okay. And when you make a complaint, you need to give some specific information. I just wanted to go over that one more time, because if you do think that there was price gouging involved when you went, we want you to be able to make that complaint. And the details they need to give you are?
Certainly the name of the business, the address of the business, the price that you paid or the price that you saw represented at the pump. And if you know what the price had been, but you may not know that, and that's fine.
This person says, is an increase of 40 cents over Sunday through Tuesday with no new gas delivered in that period constitute price gouging?
It can. We just have to look into it to make that determination.
Again, I mean, you need definitely that evidence from that business that says when they bought the gas and when they turned around that price.
Exactly.
Okay, and that takes some time, folks, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't make that complaint. Thank you so much for your time. We so appreciate it. Busy man, as he is dealing with more than 400 price gouging complaints in the last 24 hours or so. All right, if you missed any of this, we're going to put all of this on our website for you under the Two Wants to Know section.